we're back, and we have laid in our bed with the computer on all night, and as you can see, we are quite pregnant. We've got about an hour and 54 minutes to kill, and so I thought that, maybe today I would take y'all on my pretty comprehensive Basilisk, kind of Basilisk hunting route. Some people think they're really rare, and they are kind of rare, but they pretty consistently spawn in the same places, and they're kind of hard to see, especially if you happen to play with your graphics turned up to epic, which is the best way to play ArK, but not the best way to find basilisks, just because of the ground clutter. So I'm gonna take out this rock drake, and I'm gonna show y'all where all I go to find basilisks, and if we happen to find one close to our base, I'll tame it, and I'll do it in our taming pen and show you how we do that as well, just so you can get maximum efficiency and not die in the process. So I think the first step we're going to do is say goodbye to these beautiful graphics, and we're going to go down to low. Ugh, so gross looking. Just to show you real fast, this is our taming pen. So I made this as a place that if I find one anywhere in this area, I can lead it back to here, and it won't attack other mobs. Mobs won't attack it, probably more importantly. And I can also keep aggro throughout the tame, because as you might know, if you lose aggro while taming a basilisk, it loses taming efficiency. And if it attacks other things during the taming process, it loses tame, which isn't that big of a deal, but rock drake eggs can be somewhat hard for people to get in quantity, and you don't necessarily want to have to spend a whole lot more time and use a whole lot more eggs to tame one than you otherwise have to. And if you can just build an enclosure kind of like the one that I have there, it's pretty worthwhile. It's kind of hard on legacy official servers to find a good amount of space where no one's built that you can do that, but I got pretty lucky. Someone's base had decayed there, and I just pretty immediately put up that pen, and I probably tamed 5 or 6 basilisks in there over the last couple months. Although honestly, these days these servers are getting less and less populated, so it's probably pretty easy. I don't know about on official if like non-legacy official, if there's a lot of crowding, but I suspect there is. So this area up here is pretty primed for basilisks. Usually they're just on the ground. Okay, there's one. Looks like I did not bring my spyglass, but I think I got one in Reapacheep here. So we'll pull it off him. See what level we're looking at. I do typically kill anything that's low level. They won't aggro on you as long as you're on the rock drake. 45, okay. Not worth taming, but we will go ahead and kill it so that we can reset the spawn. Now he did not, oh shoot, 2 of them. Now, yeah, we don't really want to fight at once. Okay, let's see if any of these are worth taming, or if we can kind of indiscriminately attack them. Now you don't take damage directly as long as you have a hazmat helmet on, but your hazmat helmet does take some pretty good durability, so it's kind of worth not getting hit if you can avoid it. I think this is at 45, so we should be good killing it. I don't know what happened to that second one. Oh, 95, shoot. Did I? Well, I wouldn't have tamed that one anyway. That's actually a little scary. Where did the other basilisk go, guys? So again, on low graphics, the contrast of those tails, they just stick out really well. I don't think I killed that one. I don't think anything else around here would have killed it. Ah, this rock drake does have terrible stamina, so I have to excuse the really more frequent than should be necessary breaks I'll have to make. Huh. Yeah. I don't know, guys. He perhaps aggroed on something elsewhere and wandered off, but can't say I've really had that happen too much. Okay, but we're doing pretty good. Two is not bad in this area. Most I've ever found in this area at once is 3. Oh, there's one. Level 15. Just to give you an idea of kind of how much harder it is to see these guys on with epic graphics, I'm gonna just switch back for a second, and I'm gonna bet that there's no way we would on epic graphics. I won't say no way, but it just blends in with everything a lot better. Whereas, well, I don't know. That actually one is not a very good one to make my point with. I think because we're so much closer, you can see it pretty well regardless. But typically from far away, when everything else is loaded in, hop off just to aggro it. Now we are doing the event, so we should see some pretty white ones. If I see a solid white one, even if it is a low level, I might tame that anyway. Although I do think during this event, it's not like weird mutation whites. Like it's if they already have white in them, then there's really no different color scheme that manifests. But perhaps a region that doesn't normally go white will be white. I don't know. So again, we're just kind of looking around for dark mounds. Didn't see any here. Probably my pin's location also somewhat limits in this area, the areas that I frequent, but yeah, I wish I could find that other snake. Oh well. Okay, so we're gonna real fast check down a little lower in this area than we went before. Might even turn up our game a little bit. We're already up pretty high. Seen some down in this area by the by that pond in this little path. We are lagging something bad right now. Sometimes I see some right here. It's probably gonna be like, well, you like see them everywhere, and that's kind of true in pink, or in blue rather. But I mean, really the areas that I'm saying, I do see them with quite a bit of frequency. And it's just kind of general areas, really. It's not specific spots. That little kind of area between the water below and the water above. Sometimes those roll rat hills can kind of throw me off. So we'll just kind of look around as we get stamina. those light plants kind of look like basilisks sometimes. Sometimes I see them up on top of this little rock ridge. We are going to do we're going to come back the way we just came, and we're going to go lower down along the water. That's not an uncommon place for them to be. I don't see them here. Not right there. Nor down here. But I do see them over this area ahead. And really even the thoroughness of which I'm searching right now, I wouldn't tell you with any level of certainty that I haven't passed a couple already that I just didn't notice. Because even with the graphics on low, they are kind of hard to see. Before I discovered the low setting trick, I used to just periodically jump off my rock drake in areas just to see if anything would aggro on me, because I was so unconfident in my ability to spot them. And I think likely that well, yeah, and I would regularly find them, especially in that, well, it's really difficult to use words to describe different areas in blue because they all have pretty similar elements to them. Okay, so we're going to kind of go back in the opposite direction from where our base is. So here's where we started. So in this little alley up here, sometimes I see them, and at the end of it as well. Yeah, before when I was playing on Aberration, I was playing with a tune whose name was Human, and I found it really undesirable to be named Human playing ArK, because I think understandably people just think that if your name's Human, you're a total noob, and don't take you very seriously. So, I mean, not that other names are that great, but I don't know. I just got tired of playing on a human, so I brought my, I think this is my, Sworn. This is my island character. He is now an Aberration. But anyway, none of my rock drakes that I had previously are imprinted to him, and I had some better ones with better stats. So I recently got another one that would be imprinted to this guy, and he didn't roll very well, and specifically in stamina. So in order to get him up to any sort of decent HP in melee, I had to sacrifice something, so I did sacrifice a little bit of stamina I usually have on these guys. Up here, really not an uncommon place for them either. Although it doesn't really make for a good video and I can't seem to find any of them, right? That's okay. I'm confident that before the end of this we will have found, we found 2 so far. I bet we'll find, I don't know, we found 3 so far. I bet we'll find no less than, we'll say 8. So I'll find another 5 in the course of this. Don't you love it? Okay, hold on. I have to think of a name for this video. I'm thinking maybe Magical Basilisks and Where to Find Them. That's the name of some AK rolling movie, but probably I've not seen. Well, actually I saw part of it on an airplane. I take it back. But I never read the book and couldn't really tell you what the story's about. Hey. So we're leaving blue, and I'm going to show you the places in green where they are. One of the nice things about the places in green where they are is, unlike the areas in blue, I feel like they're pretty well-contained areas where you can pretty easily kill all of the mobs around and then begin taming the snake. And as long as you don't, you know, in the course of your taming, leave the area, you will not get new spawns. So you should be able to tame in relative peace without it getting distracted by too much. Here's our little top base, green base, where we've got our setup for being maybe birthing in this nice chamber. Tech trough, so we don't have to worry about them too much. You know, when their initial feeding, they get enough meat to get themselves all the way out of baby phase, which I'll show y'all either in this video or maybe in one I'll make right after. I don't know. But yeah, Reaper Kings, as it turns out, are super easy to raise. Maybe a little tricky to get. If you saw my earlier video where we went out and got pregnant with this Reaper King, you'll see kind of how we do it. And there's a couple other methods that we used to use before we had Reaper Kings that I'll show y'all as well sometime. But yeah, so sorry. On these little plateaus, sometimes there are some down in this little crevice. I regularly find one. I don't know why. It's really hard. You can't really tame it here. You have to usually kite it somewhere else. Now, up here is perhaps my favorite place in Aberration to tame snakes. They often are up here, often in these little coves, and if you can find one in there, then you just tame it in there. It's nice. Real important to check up on these little things. They often are up here, both sides. Don't want to fly today. Don't see any. Oh, there we got one up there. Good. Glad that there was one kind of in a, perhaps. Oh, two. Nice. Two up here even. Okay, let's see what we got here. Got a 45 and a 5, so those are not worth taming, but we'll check the colors out, you know? You never know. At the holiday event, we might get some good ones. I don't really want to aggro both of them at the same time, and I don't want to jump off and fall down and be separated from my Drake against Basilisks, because your torpor will kill you fast. Okay, so let's see if I can get in melee of these guys to stop. If you get in melee range, they will stop shooting the green. You can more or less survive one little cloud. Too much issue. There's another one. Golly. I should maybe jump down. Let's see. Hey, there you go. That's one way to kill Basilisk. I could be wrong. I think this one actually might be a white one. I don't know if y'all look at Basilisk very often, but it seems to be more white in the region. I don't see white on it very often. Or maybe gray? Gray on the top of that body? I don't know. Okay, so we got that one. See if there's any back here. Creeping in the corners. Nope. Once I found a 150 on this little ridge. Actually, it did not end up being a good one. It had pretty good weight roll. The melee and the HP were terrible. So it is now my weight snake on the island. It's got 11,000 weight. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so Sometimes there's some down that hill. I don't usually mess with down there because there's lots of bases, and I find that the mobs move around a lot around there, so you can't really kill everything and reliably not have respawns coming at you. I don't think we're going to see any more. I'm going to jump down from here. Okay. So from here we're going to go to the portal, which I'm actually not great at navigating between this part of green and the portal. So just have to give me for, I'm sure, taking not the fastest way there. I love huge bases that don't load. Oh, I take it back. I actually went directly here. Probably my best trip so far from that area to this area. Usually I actually take the normal path where there's a stream between the fertile lake and the river to get over to here. But apparently that right area is much more direct. Okay. Stamina. So what are we at now? We've gotten 5, so I need another 3. I think we're gonna do it. I'm sure most people are like, 8's nothing, but oh great. Rat just bit me. Now, in green, in those upper areas, on top of the little kind of, they're not really floating islands, but those areas above, there's actually a lot of basilisks. I just honestly have no idea how I would tame one up there, so I don't really bother looking up there because, yeah, I mean, that would be kind of frustrating to find a 150 and then not really be able to tame it. I think if you had someone you were with, you could probably do it pretty easily. They would just need to, oh, look at that. Okay, we got one more. They would just need to help you clear stuff. And I usually do this stuff by myself, so I kind of have to figure out ways to do stuff that you don't need another person to help you. So I don't set myself up for really frustrating situations if I can help it. I mean, I do play ArK, which is basically the definition of gameplay in ArK, but that's not a knock against ArK. It's definitely what keeps the game interesting. It was super easy. You know, we'd all be done with it already. Okay, so that was 6, so we need another 2 at least. So yeah, down here is pretty okay. I think I've tamed 1 down here, or 2 down here, and I didn't really like it, honestly, taming down here. Same problem as far as too many mobs around, can't really control it. We're going to go check the upper area of the portal, which is where I actually find a lot more of them, and I find that area to be much more conducive for clearing and then kiting them in a circle for taming. And yeah, if I ever do find one, even if I don't in this video, I will make a video taming one just so you can kind of see my method, which is pretty much like everybody else's, but yeah, I usually use a Ravenger for taming these. Riding the Ravager, we have one that's imprinted and with a good saddle. But one thing I did one time, kind of by accident, which ended up working out pretty darn well, is I actually had a crab with me because I needed to carry the eggs and my Ravager couldn't carry all the eggs. And so while I was positioning the eggs, the Basilisk started attacking my Ravager. So I had to go grab the Ravager with the crab. And anyway, as it turns out, the Basilisks are just interested in attacking a Ravager that you're holding as you on a Ravager. So I just carried the crab around, or the Ravager around in my crab's claw, and avoided getting hit by the snake, and was able to kite it over the eggs, and it was pretty fun. Okay, up here, super reliable place to find one. Super unlucky that we don't have one here today. Usually, maybe even a couple of them in this little area. We are out of stamina. And then that little ridge above, there's usually one. I guess I can't say usually about all the locations, but I feel like pretty reliably, more than half the time, there's one up here. And there's one. Yeah, they kind of spawn in weird places. Sometimes you get them like on top of mushrooms. Level 20. Not really worth doing anything with, but we'll go ahead and kill it. So someone else will have a higher level when they come back here to farm this area. Hey, that was fun. Oh, it's pretty. Yeah, I think that one might be kind of a mutated one. I'm not used to seeing that. I don't know. It doesn't look really cool enough just to tame for the heck of it. Alright, so we're at 7 now. So really all we're doing is we're going to the other side of this area. Just going around the upper little... Yeah, this Reaper that I have inside me, I'm hoping is a white one. You know, I've seen all these people with cool event Reapers, and I really wasn't doing Reapers during the last couple events. So I have no idea if the parents, like the Reaper Queens, had those colors, and then the babies have them, or if just the babies when they're born have the colors. So I'm hoping that even though the parent, the mother of this one looked very normal, I'm hoping the baby perhaps is going to be a cool color. So over here, that area we just were in, there's, I feel like, pretty typical one. There wasn't one here today. I'm just going to check up here. I don't really see them up here very often, but it seems reasonable they could come up here. And then we're just going to check one last spot. And then looks like we're gonna fail our 8 Basilisk challenge. I don't remember if we went over here. But yeah, this little back area. Depending on if someone on your server's overbuilt here, they might not spawn here, but I used to see them here. Okay, well, that is the areas that I find Basilisks in. We got 7 in our little circuit. Definitely not bad if you're trying to get scales for doing Ascension, or Rockwell rather. All those areas I feel like are relatively easy to tame them in if you find them. I guess the blue areas aren't that easy, but if you can kite them back to some easier area within blue that maybe you've set up for taming basilisks. It shouldn't be too hard. Actually, I know I was kind of wrapping this up, but let me go check one more area that I often find them in. So if you go from the portal towards where pink is, it's kind of this little metal structure. There is a little lip down here by these bases here. And actually, I have found them down here quite a bit. Not as probably consistently as some of the other areas, but I mean, everybody who lives in these areas has basilisks, so I'm thinking that it's not just my impression that there's a lot here, but I don't see any here today. Yeah, alright, well thanks for watching, and good luck with your basilisk hunting, and I hope that if you know of any areas that I didn't talk about in this video, you'll send me a message and let me know, and I'll add it to my list. Oh, there we go. Wasn't part of the route, but we did find a brait right here. 75 female. Alright, y'all have a good day.